together. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, warm evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forward. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all you love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporech kat shalom, Melech Yaakov, Israel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Let's continue on page 162 with Israel. Page 164 as we begin Tefillah. Please join me.
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanurah, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Lekonei Hakol, Zocher Chaseamot Ve'imamot, U'mevim Uladim Nebneihem, Leman Shemo Yirah, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayev et Imat Harav V'Moshiach, Mashim HaRuach U'Midat Hashem, Nefanecha Yiveh Chesed, Nefanecha Beiti holy, Umati Asuri, Umekayem and Nato, Ishene Afar, Irabo Fabal Yurot, Umidomelo, Nemeni, Umakaye, Umatsi Avishua, Nemana Talachayoti. Baruch atah Adonai, Nechayeinu Elohim. Hakadosh Hakadosh, Udoshim b'kol yom v'chasena. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'elok HaKadosh.
Page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who burn find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Shabbat. Page 175. Please join me on page 179. Grant us peace in your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name outflow every hope and every heart. Praise God, your eternal one, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Amorah et Amos Israel HaShalom. So dear friends, this is a wonderful Shabbat because we get to hear from the Torah, to hear what it says to us. So please turn in your Siddur to page 362. And Joel Shapiro, you know that over here? Please be seated. I love this Torah portion. I also like olives. Right? Not everybody likes olives in this room. That I know for a fact. You don't care for olives? Who does like olives? Yeah. You're up next. Does anyone have an olive tree? You do. You have an olive tree?
Many.
Yeah, many.
Fair Oaks was an olive grove.
And they start, and they're hard, and you've got to press them, and that's what God says. So, the first words is, and you, atah, and you. You've got to command the children of Israel, Ketzah, that means command, that they bring you pure olive oil, pressed for the light. Not for your salad dressing and not for your, but to cause the lamp, the ner tamid, to burn continually. In the tent of meeting without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall set it in order to burn from evening to morning before God. It will be a law forever throughout the generation on behalf of the children of Israel. So they were pressing this oil to make something for the their temple of eternal life. Tamod Esther bat Ruth David levarech et haTorah.
Baruch Adonai mevorach, Baruch
Adonai
Adonai
mevorach olam ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevorach olam ba'ed, Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher achrevanu mikol ha'amim ונתן לנו את תורתו, Baruch Adonai נותן התורה.
Amen. ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל, ויקחו אליך שמן זית זה א', שחקתי למאור, להעלות נר תמיד, באוהל מועד, מחוץ לפרוכת, אשר הלידה ירוך, אותו ארון לבנן, בערב עד בוקר לפני אדוני, חוקת עולם לדורותם מאת בני ישראל. ואתה הקריב אליך את אהרון אחיך ואת בניו איתו, מתוך בני ישראל גחלו לי אהרון נדב ואביהו אלעזר ואיתמר בני אהרון.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו, Baruch Adonai נותן התורה.
Amen. Yishmer Chavotinu v'Cham Yitzchak Yaakov, Yimachim Sarah v'Cham Candelaria. May God bless you. You are an olive presser. You are. And you know what it means to work hard to bring out. I love olive. I like that. Well, Esther, I know this is a bad thing, but I'll let you. I know, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for helping me. So, dear friends, we take a moment, having read our sacred Torah, it gives us guidance to send love to all of those who are in need of healing. So, the song that we're going to be singing is in your handout. And we ask for prayers of healing for Penny Clark, Janice Schulman, Sandy Lewin, Meredith Rosenberg, Holly Belleville, Carrie Liz Miller, Jerry Steinke, Sandra Albert, Bill Roselle, Mark Snyder, Sarah Durand, Judy Sangregate, Elisa Kaplan, Bruce King, Alan Schneider, Mitch Phillips, Trevor Snyder, Sky Snyder, Mario Giacomoto, Shia and Larry, Lori Serkin, Richard Glazer, Matthew Lee, Justin Langston, Julie Hoffman, Ralph Rhoda, Joe Ellen Prince, Nina Schneider, Bart Willis, Vern Olson, Iris Stern, Carla Gilmore, Robin Taylor, Joan Markov.
Very broad.
Thank you.
Yamod Hagba, V'tamod Gwila.
Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Livnei Bnei Yisrael Avi Adonai V'ad Moshe Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Vezot HaTorah Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Vezot HaTorah Livnei Bnei Yisrael Vezot HaTorah Ani Adonai V'ad Moshe Vezot HaTorah Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Vezot HaTorah Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Vezot HaTorah.
So, dear friends, we return the Torah to the Ark. We turn to page, can we do that? On page 374.
Amen.
So I'd like to welcome Susan Zollars, who is the courageous chair of the Social Action Committee here at Beth Shalom, to introduce our speaker. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The privilege of introducing Candelaria Vargas, who is the Director of Public Affairs for Planned Parenthood Marmonte. Candelaria is responsible for community, policy, and advocacy by providing health care and education by expanding rights and access for all. Candelaria is an accomplished political and community organizer who is committed to working to improve the lives of families, especially reconstructing systems for marginalized communities of color. As a former foster child, Candelaria grew up throughout the Central Valley and is a proud daughter and granddaughter of migrant farm workers and food service workers. As a young undergraduate, before the Affordable Care Act was in place, she was a patient herself at Planned Parenthood Marmonte. Candelaria is an alumnus of University of Pacific and of CSU Stanislaus, and has a master's in public administration. And we're really delighted to welcome Candelaria. As soon as I reached out to her, she was very enthusiastic about coming here to speak to us. And so I welcome Candelaria.
And welcome our members to come speak with us if you like.
Thank you. I first wanted to thank you for inviting me tonight and making me feel so welcome. This is the first time I've been invited to listen to the entire Shabbat. I feel blessed to have also been prayed for my family members and to been able to hear from the Torah. So thank you so much for allowing me that. I feel incredibly humbled and honored to be able to experience this. So thank you so much, first and foremost. And also, thank you for inviting me to hear more about what is going on right now. I was asked to come and talk about what we've been experiencing at Planned Parenthood Marmonte as providers of reproductive health care, abortion care, since the Dobbs decision at the Supreme Court. And most recently also this week, a case was heard in Alabama and a decision was made on in vitro fertilization as well. So I'm able to speak a little bit about that today as well. But I'll first start with Dobbs, the impact of Dobbs on the care that we've been providing, the patients that we've been seeing, and I'll share that we actually started seeing an increase of patients from out of state before Dobbs. And that was due to the Texas law that was passed, SB 8, I believe is what it was. That was September of 2021. We saw a high increase of folks coming from Texas to receive care. Since that date, we've seen overall about a 900% increase from Texas alone. Out-of-state patients was not very common for us. We very rarely saw folks from out of the state. We serve, just a little bit about Marmonte, we're the largest affiliate in the nation, and we provide care for a good part of California and northern Nevada as well. And in addition to that, just in this past year, in 2023, we have seen patients from 36 other states outside of our affiliate, so not in California or Nevada. And that increase has been overall about a 400% increase. So that's not just Texas, that's overall. And I will share that our leadership has seen the writing on the wall before these decisions were made, with our former president and the appointments to the Supreme Court. Our leadership took that and said, you know, we gotta be ready. We gotta be ready because California and Nevada are gonna continue to protect as much as we can the right to abortion and to reproductive health care access. And we need to be ready for when, I know, at that time, right? When this happens, this Supreme Court decision happens, all of the trigger laws that come into place that other states have put into place so that if, and now that it has happened, the Supreme Court were to no longer make it seen as a constitutional right to provide abortion access, we need to be ready to be able to take those patients and be able to continue to serve our own patients here within California and Nevada. And so with that work that has been done since that previous president, we have increased capacity to see 500 extra patients per week. So we have been able to maintain that level of care for our in-state patients and to help folks who are coming from out of state as well, because of that preparation. As far as impact to our staff, I have to be very honest about that. It has been very difficult. It has been very difficult to hear the stories of people's struggles who are coming from out of state, the challenges to their families, the burdens that they have had financially, emotionally, and our staff, our frontline staff providers, they see it all, they hear it all, and it's very wearing. And so the second part of that question is like, what can you all do to support? The thing that we asked was letters of encouragement and support and appreciation to our staff, because not only, this hasn't just been weighing on them for this time since the Dobbs decision. We've had a lot of harassment outside of our health center since before then. And things have just gotten worse. And so this is a long, very long arc of the sense from our staff that they are not appreciated by folks in the community. Not all folks, right? They do feel the sense of deep appreciation from our patients and other community members, but just that everyday folks outside of the health center yelling terrible things at them can be very wearing. So any opportunity we can take for folks from the community to really lend that support, that those words of encouragement that they are appreciated, that they are seen, that they are thanked for the life-saving work that they provide is really very much appreciated. I know it sounds like a simple thing to do, to write a letter or a card, but it's something that is very deeply impactful for our staff to be able to see and hear that that care and love and appreciation for them. The other thing I wanted to share, just something to keep an eye on. This year, there are going to be some ballot measures in Nevada. One actually in other states too, but Nevada is the one that's in our affiliate. So just something to keep an eye on. It's very much akin to the Proposition 1 that passed last election cycle. So just something kind of to keep an eye on for folks to be aware of, that abortion access is on the ballot. And so that's just something to be aware of. Some folks think that it's not relevant when it comes to voting issues, but I just wanted to make folks aware of that since that is our affiliate, and trying to keep it nonpartisan, so I'm not going to say numbers or anything like that, or say what to vote for. Just pay attention to that. Just want to make you aware of that. Moving on to, because I want to make sure that I'm staying on time, keep my promise under my 10 minutes, to about the Alabama Supreme Court ruling. That one has been very, very challenging. It proves a lot of challenges for folks who are wanting to have a family, period. And it really has brought, it's attempting to create fetal personhood, is what they're trying to do. And it's medically and scientifically unfounded and a wrong decision. That's coming from, our physicians and our scientists. And we've seen a lot of this type of chaos since the Dobbs decision and these decisions being made at the state Supreme Courts. And this is just kind of that cascade of decisions that are being made after the Dobbs decision. And it has really made it possible for folks to dictate what happens to our bodies, and has made it very challenging for folks to be able to make those very personal decisions that should be made only between a patient and their doctor and their families. So the other thing that I wanted to say about that is that it included an appropriate language based on their religion, like the Supreme Court. So that's something that is also being brought in. And so we can say something, see that that's also, if it's a state decision, that's inappropriate for their religion to be included in that. And it also really brings and calls into question the legality of IVF and other fertility medicines that provide what we can do with our bodies. So that's a little bit about what we can say for now. It really is something we have to keep watching out for. I hear you loud and clear about the complacency. We should expect some more of these things to be coming. They've been coming. Yet each state where the states have decided, the Supreme Court's there, or the state legislatures, to continue to strip away those rights. And as those rights are being stripped away, more people are coming to our affiliate to receive care and access. I've also been listening on the news that folks, for physicians who provide IVF treatment, they're very hesitant now to be able to provide that type of care because of the legal consequences. So that makes it even more difficult for families to be able to grow. Oh yes, question.
Are you saying that it's not legal in California to have in vitro fertilization?
No, Alabama just passed. Sorry, clarifying question. Yes. This was an Alabama Supreme Court decision. California is legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it legal to terminate a pregnancy in California?
California completely legal. Yes. Yes. We passed Proposition 1 to protect abortion care access. So that is both for in our healthcare facility abortion care, and also with the pill, the abortion care. Yeah. Thank you for the clarifying question. So legal here in California, both IVF treatment and abortion care. Thank you for asking. Yes, another question.
How is Planned Parenthood financially in California and Nevada, since all of these other people are coming in and that demands more service?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Not that you're campaigning for it.
No, not campaigning for it. Yeah, just to answer the question, the state has recognized that this is something that they also need to address. And so there have been some designated funding to support folks who are coming from out of state and to provide reimbursements. I'll share though that before this all happened, we've always experienced reimbursement rate issues. And we've also experienced reimbursement rate issues with telehealth as well. So during the pandemic, that has also been a struggle to get fully reimbursed for those services that are provided. So great question. That's how I can answer. Do we have any other questions? I think I'm still good on time. Yes, and then over here.
Are you expecting more people to come from out of state into California to get IVF?
That's a great question, and I think that's an expectation that we should have, seeing how we've seen folks come for abortion care access. I would imagine that to be the case. The challenges right now, from what I've been listening to on the news for Alabama, so this is not a part of my talking points, this is just what I've been understanding from the case, that they have been they put a pause on people being able to bring their fertilized embryos outside of the state and outside of the facility, so that they can receive treatment elsewhere because of the type of risk that's involved. Like, they don't want to transport and then something happens, an accident, anything, right? And then be faulted for that as something happening, like a wrongful death, as they've been sharing. So that's something to kind of keep an eye out for. If I would say yes, if they want to start the whole process here, I would imagine that to be the case. I think I saw something here.
Well, what states do the majority of women come from?
What do we do?
No. From what states are most of the people coming from?
Most of them from Texas. Yeah, Texas. But we've seen in the last year alone from 36 states. I think I saw someone. Okay.
You're talking about some of the people that demonstrate at the clinics that are
For the harassment,
Is there like an organized group that does that, or do you know about any of those folks? Are they sponsored by churches or groups?
Yeah, I believe that they are, but we have to be. We can't. They stay outside on the sidewalk. We in the past have worked with law enforcement, and it's very challenging for them to enforce some of the laws because there's kind of conflicting rights at play. They share with us that it's their First Amendment right, but then at the same time, they don't have the right to harass people and make them feel unsafe. So that's what we've been working on. The kind of like threading the needle in a way, making sure folks are not being harassed at our health centers, and that's not just staff, that's patients too. They say everything to
Do people ever show up to demonstrate pro in favor of soccer?
Some have. We discourage it. We have a we don't want any type of physical altercation. So we have a non-engagement policy where our staff we don't engage with them. And then if folks come to us asking, hey, can we, come out and support? Because they're there, we discourage it. Thank you for your support. Let's find some other ways we can work together to get support, just because we want to make sure everyone is safe. And we don't want anyone to be harmed. I'll share that in Fresno, there's a lot of proud boys out there who like their firearms. And so it's a real situation where we really want to make sure people are safe, and we don't ever want to put anyone in the way of harm. I think I have another question here.
Of all of the people who come to protest and complain, how many of them offer to help? If the women decide to keep their children, how many of them reach out and say, I'll be there and I'll help you raise that child, or I'll help you get services, or anything?
Yeah, not to that extent. They will be happy to offer their, point folks to their pregnancy crisis center down the way in Sacramento.
Yeah, I don't mean prayers. I mean, is anybody offering actual help?
Not to what you're talking about. No, not the kind that you're talking about, yeah. I really want to be respectful of time. I know I'm over the 10 minutes now, but did you want me to answer more questions?
First of all, thank you.
Yes, of course. Of course.
This is really important for all of us, and I think that right afterwards we'll be asking questions, so please about ways that we can connect and support vigilance.
Yes, which is that I neglected to mention in the introduction that I put out some cards for us to and so we can
Thank you.
provide some cards saying thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything that the people on Zoom can do to assist since they're not here to physically contribute cash?
Oh, sure. Cards are always welcome, and they can be sent here, and I can come pick them up. Folks are always, there's so many things to do virtually and in person. So if you just want to reach out to maybe Susan, and we can connect as to wherever you are if you want to do something remotely, that we have volunteer opportunities for folks if that's what folks want to do. You already mentioned monetary. Something that folks ask about is the practical support for folks coming out of state. Our partner, Reproductive Justice Access, they are folks who have been doing this for decades now. And so we always turn folks who want to support in that way to them because they've been doing this for so long. We provide the healthcare and then they provide the practical support when it comes to being able to help with childcare, housing, lodging, transportation, things like that. They help support that type of. So usually a lot of folks ask if they can contribute to that for us, but we always share that partner so that they can do theirs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Important work, really important work. So stay strong. Friends, we're going to continue on page 376. We offer a prayer for this country of ours. Page 376. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound and wise. We pray for the state of Israel. We pray for our hostages. We will not stop praying for our hostages. We pray for a resolution. Dear God, help us. Please join me with a prayer on page 377. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulateinu, Hagen Aleha Be'avrat Chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shalomecha, Ushlach Orcha Ba'anitecha L'Rashecha, Sareya V'Yoatzecha, V'taknen Be'etzat Tova Milfanecha, V'natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'simchat Olam Yoshveha, V'nomar Amen. Dear God, establish peace in the fullness of the land. Amen. I'd like to invite Sherry to come up and share with us our announcements. Somewhere I'm going to get rid of it. I know. Can you make them up? How about this? That's it.
First of all, thank you. Planned Parenthood was there for me when I was a teenager, and I have always been very grateful, and they've always been an automatic deduction from my paycheck.
That's right, we are a nonprofit.
And they will continue to be. So, again, I'm Sherry Meyer, chair of RPC and part of the choir, and just blessed to be part of this conversation.
Are you a Forum Spiel director?
I am a Forum Spiel director too. Yeah, we're going to work with the kids this weekend. This year it's the Rad 80s. Without giving anything away, just to see Bob in his outfit will be a treat. But a lot of our members here are part of the Spiel, and yeah, rumor has it that Heyman will make an appearance, and as I've said to the cast, he will put the ham in Heyman. So we're all good. It'll be a lot of fun. I believe that's Saturday night, March 23rd. And so yeah, we're having fun with that. Come see the Thriller McGiller. So thank you to Carlos and the beautiful voices. And Rabbi Nancy for leading us through tonight's service. And again, a very special thank you to our guest speaker, Candelaria. Again, it's so important. Thank you to the Verano family for sponsoring tonight's Oneg. Torah study tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Zoom, facilitated by Rabbi Nancy. More on olives? You never know. Okay. Also, tomorrow is a very special Havdalah at home. Is that still being hosted by the Verano family? Begins at 6:30 p.m. It is an evening filled with candlelight, spices, and renewal. And I think sometimes after difficult weeks, when we hear news like we've heard, it's important to get that renewal. If you would like to attend, please email Jenny Jeffrey directly at administrator@cbshalom.org. Neshama is in session this Sunday, beginning at 9 a.m. Join us back here next Friday, March 1st at 6 p.m. That's for the family Shabbat services. Ooh, and there's a delicious dinner immediately following. Although there is no cost to the dinner, generously sponsored by donations and prepared by Matt Kurtz and his team, registering for the dinner is required to ensure we have enough for everyone. So if you haven't had Matt Kurtz's dinners, they are amazing. Please let Jenny Jeffrey know if you'll be joining us again. That's administrator@cbshalom.org. And if you have available time, please let Jenny know if you're available to help Matt on Thursday, the 29th, at CBS from 6:30 to 9 p.m., as well as on Friday for setup and cleanup. I don't know about your homes, but it's usually the case where the person who does the cooking shouldn't have to do the cleanup. So keep that in mind. Some upcoming events to keep an eye out for. We've already mentioned the Purim Spiel on Saturday, March 23rd. There will be a Megillah reading as well as the Spiel beginning at 5 p.m. We'll have the pizza party, and you can register for that online. There will also be schnapps as usual, because again, this is where it's not only okay, but you're encouraged to have a little bit of schnapps to go along with your Purim Spiel. So the Megillah reading at 6, and then the very 80s rad Purim Spiel. In April, on Thursday, April 4th, CBS will be joining the Rainbow Chamber downtown at Mango's for Drag Queen Bingo. So you can bring out that wig again. There you go. Certainly it will be time to remember. Flyers can be found in the foyer. Sunday, April 14th will be the Maggie Verano Enrichment event. We're looking forward to that from 11 to 2 p.m. This fundraiser will include music and games with Steve Buzzard, delicious falafel stand, and much, much more. So please watch for information on that. Then Tuesday, April 23rd is our community Passover Seder. Stay tuned for more details. Sunday, May 5th, besides being David's birthday, is at 6:30 p.m. is the community-wide Yom HaShoah commemoration at Mosaic Law Congregation. And finally, this year, May 26th, over Memorial Day weekend, we'll be celebrating, CBS's 50th. They're 1 year ahead of us. 50th anniversary in Lag BaOmer with our second annual Raise the Roof event. So there'll be more information about that. So with all of these things, we hope to see you there, each and participating. We are only as strong as all of you. So thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
So, my friends, we turn to Aleinu, page 586. Please stand.
שלא עשה לקריאה הרצון, ולא עשה בנו כשפחות אדמה, שלא עשה חלקנו כהן, וגורלנו כחול המונה. ואנחנו מורים, ושחרים ומתים, וזהו אופן המלכים, Shalom Hashamayim Yerusalames, Ushalim Karbu Pashalim Olam, Ushina Tuzo, Ushina Tuzo, Nidon Neveroni, Elohim, Elohim, Elohim,
Please be seated. On this Shabbat, we remember the very recent passing of Richard Bruce Lieberman, William Bourne, Evelyn Guerrero, Rochelle Joy Pollock, Eleanor Love, Allison Green Braverman, Sunny Eisen, Wade Al-Fayoum, Ruth Lander, Ellen Sandler, Melinda Foreman, Maxwell Freeman, Theodore Dwight Bunce, Arthur Beauty Gould, Brett Tonsano, Cecile Kentworth Kaplan, Matt Drake, Noga Panini, Jean Beeman, Stanley Carter, Gary Malkin, Ronald Davis, Marion Blumberg, William Joseph Loza. I would love to remember the yard site, the anniversary of the passing of Edward Anderson, Roger Andrew, Alan Appel, Ruth Johnson Archer, Cecil Barak, Arthur Murray Berkman, Margaret Buchler, Marion Kapitman, Sharon Cohen, Rollin Elkins, Bernard Flake, Bobby Ray Foreman, John Frink, Rita Labovitz Guinness, Joan Goldberg, Ella Hahn, Jean S. Simon Hornstein, Jack Leonard, Matt Malkin, Evelyn Marcus, Jack Mendelson, David Nabi, Cecile Mahenke, Nathan Norman, Melanie Pollock, Harry Redler, Max Rothman, Anita Ursula Schoenberg, Robert Boscu, Charles Wolfman. Are there any other recent deaths with Doris Walters? For those of you who are standing, I'm going to ask you to begin the Kaddish on page 598. Yehi Shmei Rabbah V'Borach Olam B'Amei Amaya. So this evening we close with a very beloved Ein Elohim. And it's the melody that many of you are very familiar with. And the words page 626. Just want to thank again, Carlos, thank you for being with us. Move the choir, thank you. Please stand. Dear God, keep us close to Torah. Keep us remembering that the teachings there are so relevant for our lives. This teaching this week about gathering the olives and pressing them and turning them into something of light, may that be an inspiration for us to keep working for justice and for the rights of all of us to live as full people in our own skins in this country. Amen. Shabbat shalom.